Hey, welcome back to the garage. We are finally about ready to start putting the motor back down in there. I wrapped the heads up in plastic yesterday so I didn't get any dirt in there. Brought it over. This week I've been working on, got the wiring harness all back together. There's the under part of the car. Eliminated one of the brake lines that goes to the back since we don't need two anymore. Hooked it straight up there and then teed it, at the back axles. Had issues with power steering, got the new hoses on there. What else did I do? Oh, I had the fuel tanks out, did a few absolutely 100% EPA legal modifications to the fuel system. So right now, still haven't pulled the torque tube apart. I'll get that once I get the engine down in there. We'll shim up the slave cylinder, get it all right. Got a new slave cylinder for it. See the fitting down there, put a new master cylinder in a while ago because it was the original. So I wanted to get that changed out. So right now, roll this out of the way, get the engine up on the crane, and start setting it down in there. All right, it is showtime. Let's see if we can get this sucker in there by myself without destroying anything. We got it tilted down to the back like we did bringing it out. That helped it clear everything. So that should be how we need it going back. Now, the compressor pretty much has to stay where the engine's at. Now, one of the harder parts is just getting the bat wings down behind the cross member. Honestly, once those are back there, then you're pretty much clear. And that's got this side down. If I can rotate it. And what I'm needing to do right now is just lift this side up just enough to get this wing over the edge. And there we go. Bat wing is down behind the cross member. You just got to pivot it just right and it'll all clear. Now, I need to work on the engine mount and this air conditioner mount. And then we can actually get it set down completely on the cross member. I'll slip this bracket down in here. It's got one bolt that holds the bracket by itself. The rest of the compressor bolts go through it. All right, got the AC bolted up. One thing on it is the bracket has one bolt that is in behind the compressor that holds the bracket to the engine. So it has to be on there and tight before you can put the compressor onto the bracket. So when you put that on there and bolt it down, you've got to make sure that everything is lined up to where your bolts will go through the engine. As long as you got that lined up, if it's not lined up, you'll play heck trying to get the bolts through there. The other thing is that with the engine like it is now where it can swing a little bit, I had enough room. Since this one is a stud, I was able to go ahead and put the stud through the bracket without the compressor on it and then slide it over, hang the compressor from the stud and go ahead and put the other 3 bolts in. Made it a little bit easier. Still a bit of a problem getting that bracket lined up. So now, I'm going to work on getting the engine mount brackets back into where we can actually set this down on the cross member. Okay, we're going to start on the motor mounts now. Go ahead and you want to have your mount, your actual rubber mount screwed on to your piece that goes on the engine. That way you can fit that in there and then put those 3 bolts in there. If you bolt this piece on first, then you're going to have trouble fitting this in. And these are just regular auto parts store rubber mounts. These are not the factory hydraulics. These are solid rubber. I tried a set of, I think they were AMT mounts. They're the ones that have the puck in the middle, but they have a bolt that goes completely through. And that just, to me, that doesn't isolate. That transfers the vibration straight through that bolt. No matter what you stick in the middle, if you have one bolt that hooks the 2 together, you're still going to get vibration. I tried those for a while, absolutely hated them. I mean, they held everything solid, but it just, this car is both a play toy and something that I drive for good with the wife in there. I want to just cruise, so I don't want everything shake, rattle, and rolling in there. So these are, like I said, they're solid rubber. They've been in there quite a while. They haven't pulled apart like the factory fluid-filled ones. They hold everything really solid because one of the reasons I took the factory ones out were they were pulled apart, and that was causing some of my wheel hop, letting the whole drivetrain turn. But these work good. They don't transmit much vibration. They hold the motor solid. They're working really good with the transmission mount I've got from HPT, I think it was. So get this screwed on here, and then we'll put this back in the car. Okay, we got the assembly bolted together. This way we can just set it down in there. Get the bolt in the hole, pivot it to where it locks in place. And now all we have to do is slide the motor over a little bit, put those 3 bolts in. Then we can do that to the other side. Set it down on the mounts and just support the back of the pan. The driver's side's even easier. Just set it right down in there because you don't have the air conditioner compressor in the way. I see we got quite a bit of gap right there. It's because the engine is tilted to the side a little bit. I went ahead and put a jack under the back of the pan to hold the engine level. Got the bolts all in on the other side, tightened up. So now we just need to lower both the jack and the crane down a little bit. Get rid of that gap, put those bolts in, and she'll be fastened. Well, we still got the 2 bolt nuts on the bottom of the mounts. She is back down in there. Mounts are fastened up. Everything looks good. Back of the motor is setting on a jack stand. And I think that's all I'm going to do right now. Next video we'll probably be putting on, I think I'm going to work from the back of the engine back, get all that back together. Then we'll come up here and finish all the stuff on top of the engine. But right now, Look out there. It's February and it's like 60 some degrees, and I got a couple of motorcycles that are getting jealous that I'm working on the car so much. So till the next one, this actually went in way easier than I figured it was. And how many times do you ever work on something and that happens? Normally you think it's going to be easy and then it's like an 8-hour job later. But this actually dropped right in there. You just got to turn it just right to get the bat wing happy, and it just sets right down. Till the next one, thanks for watching.